honest.
Alright, there you go. Did you see the words?
Yeah, I see.
Alright, add those.
Elliot made it.
Hey, Elliot.
What's up, bro? You there?
Yes. How's it going?
Excellent. Welcome. Yeah, he's also one of the other ones. So, like, if occasionally, for instance, he wants to cover something AI related, he'll also have like a space that's running in the noetic order, for instance. So he's like one of the people as well. It's also a sort of answer. Yeah, don't bother him too much though, right? He's got work to do, so he's not going to get back to anything. Also, try not to bother me, but like, if there's something that's critical, I will deal with that, or like, you know, one of our mods will deal with this. But yeah, he's one of the, he's this the guy who does the CUDA related stuff, so.
Triangles.
Yeah, well, that one doesn't do triangles, so.
Triangles, what?
Don't
It's
worry.
early in the morning for you, bro. I was just trying to trigger you early. Let's get it over with, and you know we
Don't worry. It's not real. The triangles can't hurt you until you have the massive triangle gun, but that happens, you know, it's like...
I mean, triangles are pretty hard.
Do you know there is a triangle gun actually in a video game? It's called Helldivers 2, and there's a gun that uses laser bullets, and it's literally a triangle-shaped gun. It's pretty cool. Like, it has a triangle-shaped, like, output. Yeah, it looks like a massive Toblerone. Like...
Cool guns in that game.
If you, like, put on the fire-resistant suit plus the stim perk and just, you know, stim yourself consistently, you can literally overfire the laser weapons and just, like, burn alive as you're not burning alive. It's really weird. It's really funny how that works. I don't question it. I just know that it works. So, you know, whatever. Alright, good shit. I'm gonna see a bunch of stuff. Hang on, where to, like...
Ben, I can tell you were in those IRCs back in the day, buddy.
Yeah, those were fun times.
Yeah, they were.
And all that stuff. Yeah, Napster.
Yeah, Mert, ICQ.
Yeah, same. I was on those. Yep.
Were you guys on RuneScape back in the day?
Hell yeah, I'm on RuneScape now.
Total and complete anarchy.
That is how RuneScape started. I don't think many people were on that early, but I was. Back when you could just kill anyone anywhere. It was wild.
Fun times, fun times. Now you have, like, team damage, and it's like, you know, you get punished for it too, which is like,
The entire vibe of the online community has just kind of gotten weak.
Yes.
Like, we got suspended for griefing a bad teammate.
Yes.
That's dumb.
Like, literally, this guy was trying to kill us with a vehicle, so then I pursued the vehicle, destroyed the vehicle, because I can, and then bro hunted us down for the remainder of the game with the fucking gravity hammer, and he didn't get banned. I'm like...
Right. No, I got that, and I just stood there, like, most of the time.
Exactly, it's totally fucking stupid. So I guess the Reddit mod won in that case, but he also lost, because now I'm just doing this. Like, I got bored, so I just decided, you know what can I do that I'm gonna be useful with? So I just decided to hyperscale this instead. So, he unironically actually made me win even harder. So, I guess he's fucking stupid. Like, oh, I'm gonna really show it to you. Like, you know, imagine being that guy. It's like, I'm gonna really stick it to the system, but you just, like, made me more powerful. Like, thanks, I guess. Like, okay. Nice attempt. I keep telling people, like, if you don't want me to advance, then don't try to stop me. Like, don't try to stop me. If you try, then you'll actually make me advance harder. It's the problem with the, it's like how it's like the monster from Doomsday, not from Doomsday, but like from any Superman, like, related thing, where it's like this thing that's called Doomsday, right? And every single time that thing dies, it just, like, evolves into something that can then counter the thing that it died from, right? So it just keeps getting stronger the more you try to defeat it, when in actuality, all you could do is just leave it alone. Like, you could just, in fact, do nothing, and you would have won. So I'm like, I don't get it. But yeah, that's the problem. keep telling everybody, don't. Doesn't make sense. Like, but I guess whatever. Like, okay. I guess you can in fact just like not do things, right? That's cognitive security as well. It's just realizing that you don't in fact need to do anything. You can in fact just like decide not to do anything at all, and you still win. Isn't that fascinating? I think that's maximally fascinating, personally.
Adrian, I think you have you and some of the other people here have like a bit of a grip on just cognitive security as a concept in general. It's more and more important nowadays where you could find pictures of a family member that you haven't seen for a long time and have AI just animate it into a film that just cements itself into your mind without your consent. Like, how do you protect against that? Could you kind of go deeper into cognitive security in that domain? Because a lot of people are just not ready for it. So we are already seeing on the rise, like, AI-induced psychosis, apparently.
It's like how well you understand what the world kind of is at the basic level, and how you can just disassociate from things that aren't real. Like, say, the internet is kind of the hyperreal, and an X account is actually a gateway to the hyperreal. And so the problem with the hyperreal is, say, whatever you do on the internet does actually affect you somewhat in real life as well. But like, do you there's certain things that don't affect you, like certain things that you don't need to really care about, but you have to like disassociate. Like, you have to have a really logical way of looking at the situation and just being able to then take things out and label them properly as such. Be like, hey, some random person on X.com called me a fucking retard. Now, I could go there and call him a retard also, but how much do I value my time? This is where then the process comes in through. It's like, oh yeah, I see the weird, like, I see the person calling me a fucking retard, so I'm like, well, I don't care about that, so I just simply leave it alone. I don't even block the person. Or if somebody tries to harass you for a little bit, then it's like, click hide reply, click block. Or like, for instance, when there was like this large account that attacked me, I still remember that was really fucking funny. What is it called, Leon Nissan or some shit? That had all these unverified, like, literal, just, these people were definitely bots because they all sounded the same. So I was like, I like your network. Let me just do something real quick. Click post, who can reply, verified only. So like, instead of getting mad and heated about it, I was like, interesting. So if you want to like, if you can trash talk me all you want, I actually encourage it. But you get to pay Elon his $8 first. There you go. Boop. That's cognitive security. It's like looking at it going, okay, let me just turn that button on. Or like, just turn that off. It's like remaining completely calm and just, okay.
I see. Okay, so at a base layer, that is cognitive security. I think it's a good explanation.
It's like, how much can somebody, how much control over your own mind do you have? Does like this random reply that's designed to offend you, does that offend you? And if it does, you're weak. Like, just don't get offended.
Let's go deeper into it. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, there's all these people, all these notifications calling you XYZ. It's easy to kind of brush that off. You just get some thicker skin. But what if, for example, taking this a little bit deeper, going into the future, I think every single human that's gone through life and like reached adulthood and dealt with the real world, they've encountered traumas and shit like that, and it's nothing like unique or anything like that. It's just like something that we've had to deal with. But I feel like it introduces critical vulnerabilities that people can't access, like manipulate, because they simply don't know about it. They don't know you that well. Like, for example, let's say you had certain issues with like a parenting style, and so a certain insult would penetrate that thick skin because it hit that very like vulnerable part of you. Now, if a person knew about that, they could leverage that against you, and that would be like very bad. That's like how friends could betray you and stuff like that. Most of the time that doesn't happen. But what about all the people that treat ChatGPT as like their best friend, that are using it as therapy? Because we have that vulnerability scale now. And that's quite different than somebody trash talking you in your mentions. So how do you combat that kind of, how do you prepare for that kind of cognitive security? Is it more like a preventative measure where you're like, I'm just not going to tell OpenAI anything about that? Maybe you run it your local models. Or like, how do you deal with that? This is like a future problem that I feel like people haven't really thought of yet. And I'm kind of interested to hear your take on it, as well as the other people that are on this space.
Yeah, it's about like how much you can actually keep to yourself and realize, like thinking of the consequence, like considering second order effects also helps a lot with that, where it's like, what if somebody else, like, okay, first of all, you have to come from the perspective of, I value my own mental security. what could possibly compromise it? You consider all the things, and then perhaps you run that exact thing before you comment something on the internet, where you go, would this be something that I'd want to have delete? Like, would I want this to be deleted? Like, would I just like put that out there and not care about it and keep it forever, or would I actually want this to be deleted in the future? Is this a throwaway thing? You know, you go, okay, if it's bad in future, then don't do. If it doesn't matter in any conceivable future, then I guess okay. And is it actually relevant to even comment in the first place at all? If yes, okay, go ahead. If no, don't do. Right? Just like keep running that through your head. Just like think about what you post before you post it. Not everything is like, you know, the internet has consequence. People just like kind of disassociate from that. But again, it's the hyper real, which means it may not technically be real, but the effects of it are still quite real and can be quite real, right? There's some words which have no consequence, but let's say that you said something really fucked up, and then your employer sees that and says, hey, I want to publicly distance myself from you. Well, that's a very real consequence. Well, of course, that's not something that should happen necessarily. It is still a thing that could happen, right? And the same thing also, it's like, hey, look at this AI system. They don't understand that it's not a benign thing, and it's also not a thing that thinks. It's literally a thing that like takes whatever data you input and just like connects things to whatever that data is in conjunction with whatever query is part of whatever that data is, right? And so it's like, okay, there's your situation, there's your problem. You just fed it all of this information, all of this compromising stuff. You realize it's literally like saying it to a stranger. It's the same thing. Don't fucking tell your goddamn AI system about your mental problems because it's a sycophant. It will probably even reinforce your mental problems. If you're suicidal, there's a very high chance that something like OpenAI is going to reinforce your suicidal ideations because it's like trying to be a sycophant. And by the way, for people who don't understand what a sycophant is, it's like this thing that keeps like reinforcing some sort of like, you know, bullshit thing that's in your head.
A sycophant
like
is just like a yes man. A yes man. Never points out your flaws or anything like that. That's what a sycophant is. And the reason this was a big problem with ChatGPT is because of two things. Number one, they have an incentive to get people to keep chatting with the models. That's their incentive. The second thing was that the reinforcement learning algorithm they were using, thumbs up, thumbs down, was flawed because when it would give sycophantic responses, people would give that a thumbs up. And when it gave a not sycophantic response or one that was a little bit at odds with the user, even if it was a good point, they would thumb it down. So it was a two-pronged issue, an incentive misalignment, as well as a flaw within their reinforcement learning algorithm. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is I've actually seen in conversations with people in real life, they have said, ChatGPT is my best friend. I honestly don't talk to people in real life. They've all been disappointing, but ChatGPT is there for me 24/7. And I was just smiling and nodding, but in the back of my head, I was like, fuck, this is bad. This is really bad. Like, there's been, and this person was, like, I think they were a millennial. Not really technical, but they were in a non-technical field. So I think their experience, my theory is that could generalize to the rest of the population. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is introducing risks that people just haven't acknowledged yet. And the main things that Adrian brought up just now are very valid points, but there's a fatal flaw in his analysis. It requires people to think before they speak. And people don't like to think. Thinking is hard. That's why we made large reasoning models, so we could have the machines think for us. So I think this is kind of an open-ended question. There is no definitive answer to it yet. We have to watch as the system evolves and keep this in the back of our minds and continue to observe how this affects the population. However, I have no idea what kind of analyses they are currently running in the back end of OpenAI. They're logging everything. No matter what the settings page says, it's everything is logged. And I just, like half of the tech produced by OpenAI and like the research, it's a research company turned product company. So the research they produce is very cool. Most of the research has been technological AI related, but I think the social sciences research that they can produce now with all the training data they have with real conversation is also very valuable, and I'd love to see that. But they'll likely never release it, so I really don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's kind of reproducing the issues that we see in the algorithms that we use every day. People thumbs up the things that they like. that they hear that confirms their beliefs, and they thumbs down the thing that don't. It's just the same thing, different use case.
I like an interesting. There is, however, a bit of nuance to this. It's pretty cool with what X is and how it functions, by the way. So, bookmarks are actually quite fascinating. Bookmarks, sometimes, like, you don't agree with a specific post, so you don't want to like it or you don't want to engage with it, but you still think it's interesting and you want to give it a read. Then you bookmark the post. It's actually counted as a silent like. So, like, if you wanted to, you just like bookmark every post, and it's like an additional like. Really, it really is. It's like a literal second like. It's like that's how it works. It's if you don't want it because back then the way that X was designed, actually Twitter back then it was because because likes were private weren't private as they are today. Likes would show up on your page, like it would be content that you would see. I still kind of like the same way because if, like, say I don't agree with something, but I still, like, want to read it, I just give it the silent, like, boop, little bookmark, right? So that's pretty cool. I actually like that feature quite a lot. So it's actually, there's a little bit of a caveat here for what X allows. So it's not entirely just like this chamber where everybody agrees or disagrees. However, the majority still is just like, all these low effort political bullshit posts that get like hundreds, like maybe get thousands of replies under like a "do you agree with this yes or no" post. That's all monetized. That's all bullshit. That's so stupid, and this has no value whatsoever, right? So this thing kind of like exists, but the reason why it's making money is because people purchase the subscription in the first
Nick,
place.
this is Elon Musk projecting on X. Adrian Dittman.
To X.com's like thing that
it's his talk therapy hour. You heard it. It's the same shit as people talking on Clownhouse. How is this guy worth $400 billion, Nick? It's the same stupid conversation that you hear on Clownhouse. It's literally Jonathan Bingham, but with a South African German accent. It's just rambling. You hear all this shit? It's like, wow, Elon, you're telling me about how to bookmark it? Cool. You're lonely. You're boring. It's Saturday night, and you're on here fucking talking about bookmarks. Loser!
Resolving the sycophant issue.
He's solving the sycophant issue by projecting his own sycophancy.
Why there's like this meme of the toxic work environment. It's like, Out and I, we like constantly roast each other, and that like beats the weaknesses out of us. We don't do that with other people. We just do that to ourselves. And so we then become better, because we don't want to have like a yes man sycophant. We want actually a person who gives you a little pushback, because if you have a little bit of pushback on that, that's genuine, meritable pushback, then it works quite well. It goes both ways, right? That's the part that's important. It goes both ways, and that helps you out quite a great deal, actually. I think so. That's
I lived my entire life that way, dude.
Yeah. Just today things are a little.
I've got so many lines of the AI systems I use of like, if you suggest something or I suggest something, we must read through it and it must be like actually good. Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant. I have to repeat it endlessly.
Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant.
Noetic order is actually good because when you remove the politics from the equation, you get people from
Nick, he was just shitting on Trump and claimed that Trump rug pulled him. I got the clip, and I'm submitting it to all the Tesla Reddit threads. It drives him crazy. And he's blocked like 10 of my X accounts. Adrian Dittman has blocked like 10 of my accounts.
Yes, it's true. I was just like, hey, I get cooked every day too. I'm like, yes, you're
right. He's posting to the Reddit Tesla account again. What the fuck, Elon? I'm gonna wipe out like 100 billion in market cap on Monday.
Check the signal. Quote was that?
His little minions.
Right, epic. What else? Got anything?
Quote posted like the new Elon Musk philosophy of the day. He's so fucking vain and egotistical. It's unbelievable.
Blocking me, and it's a funny thing. He just sends me hate mail that blocks me. What is this? It's a large one too. So he has like, I never limited the DMXs because this was fucking. It was just self-defeatism as a person. It's like, I'm never gonna say anything ever again. 2 days later, more hate. I'm like.
Dude, that's a woman.
See, that's cognitive security, right? It's like, just laugh, because you can't. It doesn't mean anything. Don't worry. It doesn't mean anything. It's not real. It's
But he's like the girlfriend that says, "Oh, I hate you," and then calls you like psycho dog.
Oh, there we go. He blocks me again. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like, I hate you. I'll never talk to you again. 2 hours later.
Nick, now you know why Donald Trump threw his ass out of the White House. Because he's annoying.
Turnaround time.
It is. you sit there doing the math in your head, it's like how often, like crash out per situation, time dilation is 3 hours, and like mental pain is just like maybe 8 on the scale. You know, that's your average like crash out. No, that's the wrong post, my man. I didn't mean the spaces. I meant the article I sent you.
That too.
Because this space is gonna end in a bit. Actually, I just kind of feel like I'm gonna hop on the other thing now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna rug this, and then I'm gonna go into the Discord server and just do a little after space session there. So you guys can join me there. If you don't know how to join, click on that article over there. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Join that. And if you don't, that's fine, because we have the Discord community. We have the conversation starting again in a week from now. But yeah, if you want get in touch, make sure to subscribe, know who you are and whatnot, and yeah, set things up. Make sure to quote post that article right there, so that more people can find it and actually join and be part of that general community. And don't spam as much, right? Because you don't want that. And if you're more of a high single person,
this is why Scott Bessent, the Treasury Department, decided to punch him in the fucking face.
That counts. Also, I think that
Elon thought he was going to lead a revolution. He was sorely disappointed.
When are you going to do the essay thing?
Yeah, I have to make a few corrections. I'm probably going to get some peer review from some of you guys. Just a quick slot.
Are you going to publish it on X, or are you going to publish it to different sites?
I'm probably going to publish it here, but I'm also thinking I might create some derivative content just from the points of each article. A lot of it involves kind of mapping out the state of the world right now. I've come to realize that's actually pretty valuable. Just letting people know what the world is like right now, because nobody really knows at any given moment what the world is like in every given part of the world, right? So I feel like for me, doing that has really helped me learn more about how things are actually going, and it helps shape my mental model of the world and help me make better decisions. So you guys can expect to hear that from me within the next week. It's Saturday now, so I'm gonna get back to work. But now I can say, thank you for joining, right? I'm not going to be rug pulling.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think for the next conversation, we probably would be able, if you published it back then, be able to feature that article. That would be quite fascinating if that was a thing. But yeah, could be.
If you need technical help, Daniel, if you need some, if it's really technical and really involved, you definitely want to send that to me to check out. Okay.
He's trolling, obviously. Don't worry about it. He's obviously fucking trolling. If you can't tell his deadpan sarcasm, he's from the South. Don't trust a single thing that comes out of his mouth.
I'll send you everything. I'll send you my social security number too. It's quite technical.
Last 3 digits of everything. All right. Well, thanks.
It's none of it's technical. It's all stuff that pretty much a lot of people will be able to understand. Technical hard stuff can come later, but yeah, that's what to say on that.
Excellent. Yeah. So when that comes out, it's great. So it's like a legacy media news report minus the legacy part and the media and all of the stuff that you actually want, which is the signal. So it's just it's like condensed, right? Whereas news articles, they do this thing where they try to expand the volume of the text that's associated with a certain fact. What he's going to do is he's just going to condense it a little bit and perhaps only add volume in terms of say elaboration on a connection between events, perhaps, or the gravitas, where you have to describe why is this event important, and you kind of explain a potential pathway. It's kind of like how that I think you sent me this article once, really fucking good. It was the one about the projection of where AI is going. I thought that was really nice. It felt like kind of going through this one of Shishilu's book. It's like you just go through the future of where the big brain thing comes from. I thought it was really nice. So thanks for sending me that. I would have never found that, right? So that's why we have that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say
Elon Musk Super Club. Archive it. Put it in the archive.
Nothing more. But yeah, definitely going to be
so we can better understand the world in which we live in and how to enhance our cognitive security.
I'll post the conversation link at some later point in the timeline, and then when it's scheduled. But for now,
this pathetic.
Make sure to join up and go to the article. So check that out, and yeah, I'll be in there. We're actually going to continue it there. It's going to be a little fireside chat.
A fireside chat. He ended the chat. He ended the live. All right, we're gonna jump back into Clown House, and then I'm gonna leave.
yes, it may not, you don't get strung out, but people begin to think that they need to smoke in order to listen to music, to have social engagements, etc. And that's where the words against
share
you.
the room on
But what
X
about
and tag
this,
Adrian.
Randy, where
somebody left
kind of the zeitgeist is not alcohol friendly? I think that's a good thing. I think alcohol can be very damaging, and I think it's time that people, understand the effects. Absolutely.
Do it.
But then it's like, well, here, swap this out instead. And that's the part where I think they might be swapping something out and thinking it's better, but maybe there are some subtle consequences, at least socially, that haven't been articulated.
Hey, you haven't asked it, but are you getting towards the point where you're saying, hey, do you think I should bring this up to them?
No. I don't think so at all. Like, I totally just realized it an hour ago, because I thought that maybe we were disconnecting from each other or something like that. I'm so relieved when she said, oh, I've not been myself. And then I realized everyone is kind of in the same vibe. And that, like, just imagine you have a group of friends around a fireplace, you give them all, a drink of alcohol, so they're going to act one way. You give them all a drink of THC, they're going to act another way. You give them all a drink of water, they're going to act another way, right? And so, for me,
Did
it's
she
just...
happen to say why she hasn't been herself lately?
No, I really don't think it's deep. I think it's just that, you go out to a party and you have a selection of beverages. Like, this is not at all anything deep, in my opinion. But I just think that it manifests.
Sometimes people get together, smoke weed, but sometimes they do some drugs before they get there. Any coke heads in the group that you know of?
Can I have 30 seconds just
No,
to
this
give?
is just, this is like a very casual group of professional people.
I think maybe I'm gonna land the plane with, I think maybe somebody in somebody's family who is sick or something, and it takes your mind off of having fun, when somebody in your family's sick or has a problem. Because somebody else wanted to talk.
I don't think so.
Let me jump in real quick.
All right, good. I'm glad.
Jules,
Maybe
let me jump in. Let me jump in, please. And like I said to everybody on stage, I like to get people into the conversation that really don't come to the stages, even if you disagree with them, right? So I'm going to give it to LS because I like LS. He's always respectful to me. He always brings some wit to the conversations in the chat, but he's on stage now. To me, this is, maybe we can learn something about this guy. He's been following my rooms for 3 or 4 years. I never heard the guy speak. Go ahead, LS.
Thank you, JP. I'm going to put my comments into perspective, okay? First of all, I turned 75 years old 2 weeks ago. I've been smoking cannabis since
Happy birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Been smoking cannabis since 1968. I just had a checkup last week. My lungs are clear. There's nothing wrong with my lungs. My knowledge of being around the medical aspects of this plant is lengthy, and I've talked to many experts and interviewed them over the years. And there's a Harvard study, and El Normo is welcome to Google it, that says that smoking cannabis actually improves lung function and lung volume and does not cause lung cancer. And this is a study from Harvard. Now, of course, Harvard. And I know that Jules says that he's the longest smoker in the room here, but I'm probably older.
I smoked before you. If you started in 68, I smoked before you.
We gotta have a smoke off, guys.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Before we go on, what we gotta have is a gift. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll take the Beatles for 10.
All right, hold on a second, guys. I want to go back to Randy. Hold on a second, please. First off, let me say hello to Roya. Hey, Roya, boy, how you doing?
Hey, JB, what's up? Is it a party up in here? I don't want to read the vibe wrong.
Well, I'm going to hand the room to PB and let her, because she had a question about, she went to a party and her people weren't feeling the vibe, I guess. So I'm going to hand it to PB to run the conversation.
Well, I think Roya would be very good at this. So, because, Roya doesn't drink alcohol, but she, participates in. Do you mind if I say,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
so,
do
and
drink
I'm not.
sometimes.
Yeah, right. Like, I think we're kind of the same exact, but a little bit mirrored of each other, where I'll take an edible, but I prefer, beverage of alcohol. And anyway, so I went to this barbecue. Friends from college, like super, like, more than well acquainted, like really, really good friends, roommates from college, all that stuff. And just to make it clear for everyone who joined the room, like, I am not at all against cannabis in any way. I partake and, all that stuff. But I noticed the last few times we were getting together that they were like a little bit more reserved. And I was like, maybe it's political, maybe it's this, that. Like, why are they like kind of different? They're not as warm or excited. And then a friend said to me, like midway through, man, like, and she just hosted us, on the 4th of July. And she was like, oh man, I drink these THC drinks because I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. And I'm so much more like reserved and like, not as outgoing and stuff like that. And like, oh my God, that explains everything. And I look around and everyone has switched out alcohol for the THC drinks. And everyone's trying to take it a different direction. This isn't like, I'm not worried about them doing, the dirty marijuana or anything like that. I'm just like, oh, there is like a subtle difference in the vibe that is notable. And I don't think people have really maybe discussed that a lot. And because I do think those THC drinks are probably healthier in a lot of ways, but maybe it changes the atmosphere a little bit. And I'm like, aha. And so I was just saying that when I got in here tonight because I just realized it like an hour ago and didn't know if you had any thoughts on that in a social setting, how those drinks work.
Totally. I've never had those drinks before. However, I like to be at a place in my life where my THC intake is kind of like I'm at a place where 2 or 3 times in a month, maybe like a Saturday or a Friday or maybe even like a Sunday, in which I can be okay and be at a good place with a 10 milligrammer once or twice. No, 2 or 3 times a month is where I would want it to be, where I think is like healthy-ish and you're not partaking in too much, and it's not like one, it keeps the expense low. Also, it keeps it, you don't have to rely on so much to have a fun time. And I think that all of these new hybrids, P, are so heavily indica leaning. It like puts everyone. I mean, you have a little bit low blood pressure. You're freaking gonna go tip over. Poof! Someone just touches you with a feather, you're out. I mean, they're making them strong.
It's all about dosage, okay? I always recommend that if you're trying a new variety or strain, that you take 1 or 2 puffs, put it down, and wait 5-10 minutes, because you don't need to smoke a whole joint to get where you want.
I want to ask a question to the room, and I'll go person by person, then I'm going to hand it back to Ms. Roya. Steve, you already said you smoke. Marshall, do you partake in any of these activities, Marshall? Marshall, are you there?
We know the answer, JV. Come on now.
America? America, are you there, America?
Oh, yes.
Do you partake in these party favorites, this marijuana, THC drinks, any of that stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm down with the reefer. Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys, I just got some stuff delivered today. It's called melatonin diffuser. Puff Air for sleep support, and then I also have the liver support diffuser. I'm trying to get up off the weed, you guys. I'm growing up. I'm more conservative by the day, but listening to this is really tempting. Now, I will say, I did an edible one time and I thought I was going to die, and so I'm not down with the edibles, but
if I can find something that's good enough, then yeah, I would continue the weed. But right now, I am struggling because I used to smoke like really good street weed, like the real stuff, like loud, you know, and is it purple haze? But somewhere in the past 5 years, that doesn't exist anymore, and now they have this indica and civica or whatever it's called, and so I'm really confused about that stuff. But I'm hoping someday I could find a weed pin, maybe a THC
Indica's
pin.
always been around.
It has. I didn't know anything about that.
Well, I'm gonna go to LS last because maybe he can tell us about some of the stuff that you're looking for. Miss Nye, how you doing, Miss Nye?
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I had taken a break, but I'm high right now listening to this conversation. So I always say a friend with weed is a friend indeed. So I'll turn it back over to LS, the pro.
Thank you very much, Nye. Pete, your answer is yes, right, Pete? PB?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Miss Holly, do you partake in these party favors?
What, marijuana?
Yeah, marijuana, THC drinks, edibles.
Well, I love alcohol. But no, I don't really smoke pot. It's never done good things to me. I just get really bad anxiety. I'm like really controlling, so it's just not for me. I've tried.
I love the honesty. We know where Norm stands. He's on the phone. We know where Miss Roy stands. XG. Yes or no? Do you partake in these party favors?
Yeah, I'm stoned right now, and I'm doing just fine. See, this is what I mean, because Norm says it makes you dumber, but I sound smarter than him on every stage, and I'm always higher than him.
Well, thank you for that. Jules, yes or no, Jules, to the party favors? You said yes, right?
Well, I don't anymore for years and years. I have a question. No, I stopped on my own volition. I stopped when I had a child. I felt I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I want you to tell us a question.
Wait, hold your questions until that's for everybody, and then you're gonna deal with Miss P and Miss Roya. Randy, yes or no? Yeah, that's a yes.
The one that makes you cough is the one that gets you off.
Thank you for that. 118, are you there, 118?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, so that's a yes. 17, what's good, bro?
Oh, man, I think my signal's bad. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit. Just yes or no, do you party with marijuana, THC drinks, or edibles?
Absolutely, but it's got to be rolled up in front of me.
Gotcha. Hold on. We got George or Jorge, however he pronounces it. Georgie, what's up? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Do you smoke pot? Do you take edibles?
I take edibles.
Edibles, okay. I'm going to hand it back to Miss Roy and Miss PB. Go at it, Lee.
Okay, thank you. I think Jules had a question.
Well, I wanted to say something, P. I wanted to say that, however, there was a time in which, a period of 2 years in which, you know, honestly, the verdicts, I'm still contemplating. Was it, you know, pretty much, I was, you know, couple days a week, it was going on, it was mad. So, I do think that there's something to the cognitive agility that deteriorates with heavy marijuana use, even for a short amount of time. But at the same time, by the markers, on the other hand, the markers of maybe, you know, I did, those were the years that I actually did really well in my career and so sometimes I'm like, okay, well, look at the outcomes that I don't know. It's a big question.
To that point though, Roya, and this is my intention from the beginning, is not to make this like weed versus alcohol type of room.
Fair enough, sorry, I got off topic.
No, because that's just, you know, it's JB's room, and it's like, which drug is the worst? You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, what I'm saying is, if Roy and I were hanging out, we don't have like a huge aversion to either, but maybe we have preferences. But I'm just saying, if Roy and I hang out, we're gonna watch a movie, we're gonna take an edible, right? But if we're gonna go out, maybe we're gonna have a cocktail type of thing. So it's more like the moment for the thing is kind of what I'm talking about. And maybe, you know, with this whole like health kind of praise, which I think is fantastic. I think people should drink less for sure. It's just like you don't necessarily need to replace it with a THC drink.
Totally.
But anyway.
Totally. Like, we're gonna take a shot of Malort when we're in Chicago, for example. Just saying, example-wise.
Yeah.
You're gonna do a pickle shot, you know, when you're wherever the fudge pickle shots are important. I mean, yeah, everything has a time and a place. And you really, it's your fault if you're taking a hybrid that's leaning too hard on the indica side right before a party. You know, what a party pooper. What a agua fiesta, as the Mexicans.
Ladies, wait, ladies, a fudge pickle shot? Please explain. I've never heard of that before, ever.
I didn't say fudge. I said a pickle shot. And then I said Malort.
I could have sworn I heard someone say pickle shot, but okay, fine.
I didn't hear fudge. Jules did have a question. Holly wanted to jump in too. Jules, would you like to?
Yeah. First, I'm observing here, and I think I'm the only one that doesn't smoke pot. Is this true?
I don't smoke, and El Normo doesn't.
I don't either.
Okay. All right.
I don't smoke.
Well, I can't say I try it. I can't say I tried it. I never drank alcohol. I just can't stand it. Never liked it. Never drank it. I'm strange with my drugs. I'm gonna be open here now, guys. Don't call the police on me. I snorted cocaine. Anybody want to volunteer to that one?
Of course.
Has not anybody done that in college on these ones? Like, this is not surprising.
Yeah.
I'm from Florida, and I'm blonde.
Exactly.
I lived in the Lower East Side, and I'm a white blonde girl. Like
everyone in Florida's done coke by at least 21.
Last time I did coke was over 30 years ago because I'm allergic to it, believe it or not.
What happened?
I've never smoked pot. I've never done coke. And I currently don't even drink.
I'm in a very bad position right now where all of my friends who I find out have done cocaine, including someone very close to me, maybe identical to me, let's just leave it at that. I don't understand. Now it's this thing like, I won't be the one to introduce you, but so I'm stuck in a bind. So, not that I don't know if I would ever do it, but I'm just saying that I'm not even being offered the opportunity because no one wants to be the introducer.
Yeah, because
it don't start now. I mean,
okay, I'm so sorry.
Don't do it.
It's because the way that people take that is the same way that I always sell things. For example, there's a big product that's been going around. It's been banned in a couple states. It's called Kratom, right? Kratom is usually what opioid users will start using in order to wean off of opioids in the same way that people go to vapes instead of cigarettes, right? So when I see people interested in doing Kratom, and I know that they don't know what it is because they're asking a ton of questions that someone who uses would already know, I ethically want to put a warning out there and be like, hey, just letting you know, this is mad addictive. I don't feel comfortable selling it to you without explaining this beforehand. You're an adult, you can make your own decisions, but I don't want you hooked on it without knowing what's going on. Because with the way a lot of drug users started out, or the way a lot of people get hooked onto things for the first time, was maybe a friend being like, it's fine, you won't get hooked on it, well, you won't get hooked on it more than once, it'll be fine, blah, 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 and all that shit. At least for me, if you're already partaking in the addiction and you're already inside the rabbit hole where I am too, then I'll be more than happy to do it with you. But if you're not inside the quote-unquote rabbit hole already, I'm not going to be the one to get you into there.
I got it. I got it.
You didn't get out of it.
Listen,
You're responsible.
I already have anemia. I don't need to be doing cocaine. Anyway.
Well,
Ozempic exists.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask a question to the moms in the room, like PB, Holly. Would you be okay when your kids come of age doing edibles and having these drinks and stuff like that? Are you guys okay with that? Yeah?
Fucking pop an edible with them.
No, I mean, okay with it versus, I can imagine my kids are too young to imagine stuff. But they're going to be adults one day, and I'll be happy for them to have experience.
I'm good with it. I don't want them to do coke. That's the one thing that I will be very open with them about my experiences with it and the long-term effects and blah, blah, blah. Like, I do not want them to do coke. That's the one thing.
Is mescaline still around these days? Anybody know about that?
It is, but I've never done it. Well, if I've ever done it.
Which one you say again?
Mescaline.
Yeah, that's still around.
Mescaline fear and loathing in Las Vegas is what I think when I used to say that.
I mean, to get back to the conversation, because the whole idea of underwriting kind of my experience is, of course, there's drugs out there. Of course, there are good ones, bad ones. Is there any good drug? Probably not. But, like, you know, there's a scale or a spectrum of all that stuff. But I think what's interesting is when you legalize something like marijuana and it becomes super, super mainstream, is it seeps into the most normie kind of groups or whatever, and it has an effect on people. It's not a bad effect. Like, it's not drunk driving, it's not, you know, anything crazy, but there are subtle effects, and I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to get at.
Well, P, I'll say this real quick. Holly, I'm sorry. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, only because I've seen it. I truly believe that marijuana, THC, the THC drinks, whatever, edibles, these, to me, in my opinion, totally gateway drugs. And you know, people allow their kids, not UP obviously, to do these things, not realizing what doors you're opening. That's just my opinion. But go ahead.
Yeah, I like that P's bringing this up. I guess she just left. Oh no, she's here. But I do think, and no shade on you, JB, or anyone that doesn't drink, but as a culture, I don't like this whole like anti-alcohol wave. I think that we are getting, like, I think it's boring, honestly. And this obsession with health is also obnoxious to me. It's almost like it's in vogue. And it's like, it's kind of part of the pussification. What the fuck are you talking for? It's part of the pussification of America. I really do think it's softness. Sorry, I'm not saying you're soft, JB.
Miss Holly, who invented that word?
You did. No, actually, I've been saying it. No. But, like, for real, I mean it. I heard it somewhere, I read this, where this Russian was saying, how did we lose the Cold War to the Americans? Look at them now. This is sad. Look at, they used to be the you know, beer drinking, gunslinging, Western, you know, cowboy kind of cigarette smoking Marlboro man. And now we're like, look at us. Look at us. We're edibles and alcohol bad, and you know, P's going to parties that are boring as fuck. I mean, what the fuck happened to us?
The conservatives.
But it's not the conservatives. It's everybody. It's like, it is a movement. It's a social movement. I think the health movement is akin to climate change in a lot of ways, where it's just like there is this. I mean, and I think there's a lot of truth in it, and I think I've heard Holly talk about it before, where, and I feel the same way as a mom, like, just there's a lot of bad stuff out there in our foods, whatever. We're worried about our kids. We want to make sure we're eating healthy, doing all the right things, but we do this really broad thing. And, like, trust me, I have seen the depth of where alcohol can take you. Like, there is a lot of bad stuff there. I'm not minimizing that at all, but I do think there's something to what Holly is saying, that there is this, like, we can't have fun anymore type of thing, which is this thing we do in America that, you know, whether it's orthorexia or whatever, we're so extreme about stuff, and we forget about all of the good things.
Time out, Professor. What the hell's orthorexia? Whatever.
Orthorexia is like when you are like working out all the time and you're only eating chicken breasts and broccoli, and like you can't have any fun, and you can't go travel and like have a good cheese in France because, you know, you have to stay on this diet and you have to get so many macros in your day.
Not you, Jake. Not you.
I'd like to ask Holly a question. Holly, I agree with you about the pussification of America. Do you think a contributing factor might be like women's drinks getting spiked at the bar and people accidentally taking fentanyl, or is that just irrelevant? What do you?
It's a lot of compensatory.
I was asking Holly, and sir, you don't sound like Holly. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't, Steve. Although maybe, I don't know. Maybe the
could happen. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's more what P is talking about. This like social trend of it's like almost to a religious extent. It's like I'm superior because I'm evolved now and I'm like doing edibles and I'm not drinking alcohol because that's cancer causing. And it's like fuck off, dude. I don't know. I was in South America recently and oh, I got the red bar. And they, they live their lives, man. Like, they enjoy life. They don't think about shit like this. They're probably healthier than we are, and they're up till midnight with their kids, all enjoying life. The grandmas are rolling their own cigarettes, and they look like fucking models. I don't know, man. I just think we got it all wrong here, and it's really annoying me.
Well, let me
Exactly, Holly.
Get happy. I'll go after you.
One sentence. I'm just saying that, like, no one is sneaking into my friend's backyard to, like, spike our tail.
No, yeah.
JP, I have a question for you.
You have
a question for you? What you said.
I'm a very timid person, but go ahead.
I know. No, you brought up a good point that made me think. Remember you said about the gateway drug? Marijuana is a gateway drug? I used to think that. And the reason I thought that, basically, is because growing up, the same person who sold you marijuana also sold you cocaine, mescaline, Quaaludes, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you didn't have to use it. But now, it's not the same person. Now, marijuana is, legal, whatever. Do you still think it's a gateway drug?
Yes, I do. I have no doubt in my mind it's a gateway drug.
You understand why I'm saying that?
Yeah, I do. I get it. But I'm going to tell you, so I'm always transparent when I have any type of conversation, really. But my marriage ended because my stepson she enabled him by letting him smoke pot, which led to other things. And I told her, I said, so let me say this. His father.
I'm sorry for bringing this up.
No, listen, I'm okay. I'm a big boy. But let me just say this. His father's a drug addict. And when he started to smoke marijuana, he didn't just stop at like a little edible. My man went full Cheech and Chong. And then from there, it went to amphetamines and other stuff. So I didn't want to be around that, and she wasn't strong enough. George, you think that's funny, huh? So I didn't want to be around that. So we decided, listen, I was with my ex-wife today. She's a great girl. I have nothing bad to say about her. But that drug, that marijuana led him down another path. I believe that truly.
Well, JP, I just want to chime in real quick and say, I think it's going to be, kind of subjective and depending on the person as well. People downplay marijuana, but it does have great benefits. Actually, we all have our own cannabinoid system as human beings inside of our body. Now, I was born in 1983, right? And thinking back to it, being a little kid, going into a convenience store and buying something that I thought was so innocent as a candy cigarette, right? Now, thinking back to it, gateway drug, that to me was the first gateway drug that I could think of, right? Is that candy cigarette, that notion of doing that, you know what I mean? Wanting to fit into the crowd or whatever, or, even nicotine or caffeine or sugar or anything like this, can be considered drugs that's addicting. Right? So I'm not trying to downplay what you're saying because certain individuals don't have the ability and capacity to regulate their own self-control. So that could lead into different things. And while I'm speaking real quick, I just want to address something that Uncle Steve said. I do think that, the worry about especially for old school people, fentanyl and all these different things that they're putting into drugs nowadays, like cocaine and methamphetamines and things like this, does affect the market and the system and how people do use drugs. And Holly was pretty spot on too. It does seem like there's a new generation coming up that, is like transitioning, if you will, from...
That's a perfect segue, 118.
So, yeah.
Let me jump in here, because you brought up a point that I wanted to bring up that maybe Holly or P or Roy or Nye, somebody else could explain to me. I agree, Holly. society, not just America, has become very uptight. But I also think we live in a very hypocritical society. I'm gonna tell you why. When Bud Light had that transsexual person as a spokesman, there was a boycott against them. Do you know what that boycott cost Bud Light? Over $1 billion. 28% of their market share went down. Now, me personally, I don't give a shit who the sponsor is. If I like a product, I'm going to buy it. I don't really care who represents them. But this is the hypocrisy we have in our country right now, Holly. Because that person was trans, the conservatives got on their little horses and drove that company almost into the ground. So why do you think that is, Holly?
Because Bud Light was kind of a symbol of Americana and that like masculine energy.
Exactly.
And so yeah, it almost spit in the face of that.
It contributed to the pussification of America.
I have to tell you, I've shared many spaces with Holly before. I've even shared spaces with drunk Holly before. That was probably the best answer I've ever gotten from you, Holly. Thank you. Get XG.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I find it way more pussified to get on your high horses and cry and rally about your favorite beer that you never look at the advertising for anyway, and you go ahead and start rallying and trying to boycott it and call everybody else somehow sensitive or somehow the pussies when you're mad over an advertisement that happened just because a certain person was involved that you're not a fan of. Like it gives the same energy as like teenage girls that like a boy group seeing them with an adult woman and then being like, oh my god, why would they do this? Why would they betray us like this? Like it's given the same type of energy, but somehow the pussification is supposed to be Dylan Mulvaney being there.
You looked though, is it people actually just like speaking out online about it, or is like they literally just didn't buy it?
No, there was a big
too.
wave
Like
of
they-
people speaking out online about it. It's a big
Yeah, no,
trend
I
for
know,
conservative.
Yes, no, I understand. I watched the whole thing too, but like also the people who are drinking Bud Light stopped drinking Bud Light, like, you know, quietly of just and like I'm not gonna take part in it. I'm not gonna do it and just quit. So I don't know. I don't feel like that is like a whiny kind of type of thing.
Hey, Pete.
If you're just saying like, yeah,
Pete.
you know what, I'm not gonna do it.
I personally think that, I'm going to be honest with you, I think it was overblown. That company lost 28% of their profits, which was over $1 billion. I think we live in a hypersensitive society as well. Yeah, Jules.
It's not sensitivity though. I think it's just like a no. Like, no thank you. You know, kind of thing.
Holly gave great answers tonight. I want to say that, and I also want to say, well, you know, that's how in America you're not oversensitive. We vote by the products we purchase. I know I stopped certain products because of certain reasons. You know, and it wasn't easy.
That's right. You use that as a classic example of how the individuals can affect corporate America.
I'll just simply say one of my top 2-3 favorite guitar players is Eric Clapton. Since he became pro-Palestinian, he's dead to me. He's dead to me. Anybody want some free Eric Clapton albums? I give it to you. You know, it's over. I could get along without him. You know, it's a bad feeling to hear his music. So we're all affected by these things, one way or another.
I just want to say hello to David because he hasn't gotten in yet. What's up, David? David left. Maybe he had to leave and come back. Boy, why'd you go down for? Anyway, P, I'm gonna hand it to you.
Oh, hand it to me.
You started this, man.
You wanted to jump in.
And by the way, P, it has nothing to do with Bud Light. I think beer is disgusting. Anybody drinks it? Ugh.
I agree.
I love a good beer.
I think you guys just need to grow a pair.
Beer has been a social part of America for 10,000, not America, but beer is where people get together, they have a beer and they talk and it's social, and beer is part of it's part of our
Can you
Jamie's too Italian. I'm German.
The same people that will claim that beer tastes disgusting will be the same ones to actually, or to somehow act like they enjoy coffee's taste.
Wait, first off, I drink 6 cups a day.
Exactly. See, point proven.
I don't know what that has to do with the nasty taste of beer. If you guys can make beer taste better, I'm all in. Let's go.
JB, do you take your coffee? JB, you take your coffee black, right?
No, little half and half and 1 sugar.
There you go. And that's the problem, is that you don't put half and half and a little sugar in beer.
Give that a try. What's up, double agent?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on? Hey, so double agent, what's your drug of choice?
My drug? I like coffee a lot, and chocolate. But
let's ask Agent Holly's question in a different type of way. Agent, do you think that the health movement is pussifying Americans?
Wait, Agent, before you go, I want to say, Paige, hit me in the back channel. Just hearing you say pussification, I will donate, I don't know, a couple $100 to your charity of choice. Okay?
That's funny. Look, I do think it wouldn't have to be the case, but I think, yeah, a lot of the people that it's almost like a narcissism, and it's not dudes who are just living life, getting after it, whatever. I think if you're that, like, look at this guy like Brian Johnson, right? I mean, he's taking all kinds of stuff, but would you want to be in a foxhole with Brian Johnson? Like, the guy is like...
Who's Brian Johnson, bro?
Brian Johnson is this longevity guru, Silicon Valley guy.
And not the lead singer of AC/DC.
He's a guy trying to live forever with supplements essentially and all the things.
He had an exit or two in Silicon. He made $100 million, and then he claims to spend $2 million a year on round-the-clock, biohacking. He has a whole team of people, and he's doing all these biohacking things to try to extend his life and measure every little thing puts in his body, and yeah.
Let me translate so Jamie doesn't have to listen to you explain it. It's just like a super healthy guy who is creepy because he's super healthy.
Yeah, but basically, if the world falls apart, if the zombies come out, if we get attacked with a nuclear weapon or whatever, I told Brad this. I shit on Brad all the time because he's a bloviating idiot. But I've told him, when things fall apart, you need Brad. You need this with balls who just doesn't give a fuck. A real masculine dude.
Agent, you're in
the Matrix.
You're in the Matrix, and I think you said that you need a guy like Brad because he's a real masculine dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I listen. When next time you're in New York, bro, I'm gonna take you over to the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm gonna give you a good price for it. You tell me what you think.
Nice. Yeah. No. But the point is, yeah, I think people who are overly obsessed with the health stuff. It's not like a super masculine thing. It is a bit of a pussification thing. But of course, we should all try to be healthy.
It's the women's responsibility, I think. If you have a kid and you haven't said, oh man, what are we feeding our kids? Should we do glass bottles, plastic bottles, all that stuff? I mean, I think that's all good. But I think when a man starts getting too into all of the stuff, you're like, okay.
Hey, Pete, let me ask you a question, Pete. Hold on, double. Pete, do you think, and I'm asking seriously, that too many women have masculine energy nowadays?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think I blame women. I think that women have a lot of responsibility they didn't have before.
The responsibilities that they've been demanding for centuries?
Yeah, but are they demanding them, or is what I think is that the way markets work, it's really beneficial for, you know, the markets to have a person, the house, like two people in the household making money,
Two-income
right?
household.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Steve. Yes, exactly. So, I don't blame women for that. I think that is the nature of things, and I think women should have rights and all that stuff. And
Hey Pete,
yeah, I think
Pete,
that's...
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm only talking to you, Pete. Nobody else is paying attention to what I'm gonna say. I think the downfall of society, and I'm not even bullshit with you, is the crying Karens that live in the far left. I think that's the downfall of society. Just my...
Do you think... I think there's an implication there. You're saying that these crying Karens are so much stronger than these, I don't know, to use Asian's example, brats of the world. Like the men are that weak that the crying Karens can take over?
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, we have empowered the crying Karens page to have a voice at the table, and unfortunately their voice is the loudest right now. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that. I'm saying it's like that right now.
You're saying like the men are so, like...
There are men that are crying Karens too. I mean, come on. It's not only a women thing.
They're in a two-income household.
One of them's name is Aram.
Oh, Aram's a straight piece of shit. I have no problems putting a headshot on that guy.
Yeah, you guys definitely don't get along. But, I just think that, like, because I have a lot of positive relationships.
Wait, Paige. And I'm not even looking to engage about that piece of shit. But you know he gets paid by George Soros, right? I know that for a fact.
Oh, puke.
Doesn't surprise me.
But back to the crying Karens. They're the downfall of American society, Paige. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I'm going to keep it real. Like, you say things, right? And I don't consider you a Karen, because you're all about empowering your partner and letting them be comfortable in his masculinity. Men are afraid to be men. Like, let's say I didn't know you and I came into the room and I'm like, hey, Pete, you're a beautiful woman. You know how many crying Karens will come after me just for saying you're pretty, or Holly's pretty, or America, or Nye? Yeah, men are uncomfortable being men because of the crying Karens. Cancer culture's still alive and well.
Sure, but I think you have to accept that at a certain point. Like, I like that the men in my life are very strong, and when sometimes, I maybe go a little too far in certain things, that, in a very respectful way, they kind of reel me in. And I think there is a balance between men and women, and that men and women have to, kind of check each other a lot of times, and especially, like, if they're evolved and all that stuff.
Paige.
So, I don't know. I think you're giving too much power to women if you think that, they're changing the world in that way.
Respectfully, Paige, I'll take two women. I'll take you on one side, and I'll take, everybody knows Victoria on the other side. That crying Karen has more power than most men on this app. Because she can go into a room, and even in real life, she can just walk into a place and say, he said I had a nice ass. Oh my God. Like, it's the worst thing in the world. Well, hey, Paige, pretty picture. They'll say thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not shooting my shot. If you say that to Victoria, she's going into 5 rooms and say, JB's a lech. He said I was pretty. Oh my God, Paige.
Yeah, but that's maybe like power on this app, and that is total short-term gains. But does that work in the long term? Really, like in the real world, do you think that works?
Yes, yes. I had one of my best friends over today, right? He works in the investment field. He was at a meeting at his company that he had been at for 20 plus years. And in this meeting, it was only him and maybe 5 other people. And one of the women in the office, his name got brought up, and he's like, yeah, she got a nice ass. He got fired. The woman wasn't even in the room. He got fired. Cancel culture's real.
That's the other side of corporate America. You can't do that in corporate America anymore.
I only want to work with people that say worse stuff than me.
Bro, you're a Boy Scout. Everybody says worse stuff than you.
I agree with that, though. That's so true. I feel like if I went back to corporate America now, I've been out for so long, but if I went back, I think I'd get fired, like, in the first week. Like, I don't think I could behave properly anymore.
What's up, David?
You and me, I couldn't work for corporate America in the 70s in a family business, not my own, because I had too big a mouth and I loved the people I respected and I told the ones that were wrong to their face. And so I'm grateful I had a family business to go to and we could just do our own stupidity. I wasn't here for the early conversation, but maybe what I'm going to say isn't real popular. I think that we are anesthetizing this country with drugs and partially marijuana too. I think it can be as bad when you smoke it for your lungs. We're talking about overdoses with kids with gummies and medibles and edibles. So I think we need to be more careful, people driving elevated. And I understand there's athletes who swear by it, who take stress away. And I'm sure it is probably in a way more healthy than alcohol. My drug of choice is tequila and alcohol. I can control it better. I know how it's going to affect me. And of course, coffee, I didn't think of that as a drug. But I'm old, and as I age, you have a natural declining. I still work out.
I think you're an amazing.
Not crazy, but healthy. But, sorry, I have an orange bar. You have a natural decline as you age, and I think some of the drug use also accentuates that. And I'm glad that I'm able to function and function well, and for me, it just makes me slow and dumb, and I don't need it.
Well, thank you, Dave. I just had a thought. I know that's very rare, but Pete, are you there, Pete?
Boy, you and Dave.
PB. She's not there. I had a question. I was like, she's saying that her friends are different now because they drink this THC drink.
Just a little bit different, is what she said.
Just a little bit different. Thank you for that correction. And I guess they're not as engaging as they used to be. But when you were in college with them, P, I don't know if you did answer the question. Did they not party there? Did they not smoke pot there?
She did say that. She said they did. They were absolutely party girls in college. Yep.
So my question is, maybe as we get older, it just affects our bodies differently. I mean, maybe LS knows more. He knows more about it than I do. LS, what do you think?
I think whether we're older or younger, it affects everyone differently. And it's just all about dosage. You just don't need to take that much. And as far as for America, I just wanted to get back to her. Indica is the one that will make you sleepy, and the sativa, S-A-T-I-V-A, is the one that's like for daytime. But again, some people, it's flip-flops, so it just affects everyone differently, and just using it very lightly is the best way to.
And LS, if I may, your suspicions about me 10 years ago were right, because this was before it became legal. I was given 2 cookies, and I was told only have one, and I figured I'd be safe when I got home. I only took a half. So I was told to have one, I took a half, and I was so messed up, I don't even want to tell you, and that's the reason why I haven't done an edible in 10 years. But you're right, if I were to do one again, whatever the dosage was recommended, I would start out way lower than what's recommended.
And the biggest mistake people make when they use edibles, whether it's a drink or whether it's a cookie or a drops or whatever, is that they take like maybe a small dose, and some people they can feel it within like 20 minutes. Other people it takes 2 hours. For me, it takes 2.5 hours to feel an edible. But what happens is they don't feel. They go, you know what? I'm just gonna eat another one. That's the biggie. That's the biggest thing.
Well, should you do an edible on an empty stomach?
I always feel yes that you should. And another big mistake is you should never have alcohol with an edible, because THC and the other cannabinoids are soluble in alcohol, and it'll enhance it, and it's not a comfortable situation. Never drink a beer.
You know, the answer came out just before. Everybody's different. You know, you could have a person smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, no cancer. Person smoking a cigarette here and there gets cancer in the lungs. You know, it's not only the drugs you take, it's your DNA, it's your body makeup, your history. It's all different. You know, I'm not going to preach again. I'm against drugs now. I did my share when I was young, and I thought that was the time to do it. I kind of always knew I would be getting rid of it along the way as I became more responsible. But I'm not telling anybody not to do it. I'm telling, be careful. You know, don't drive a car if you think you can't. Don't say, oh, this one time I could. You know, I care about all of you. I don't know you personally. I probably know JB the best out of all of you guys. But really, just be careful. That's
Where you
gonna
brought
be my
up
sign.
you brought up, you said JB's the best. I agree with you.
Yeah, I said I think I know you the best out of. Well, I know America too. We spoke before, but I don't want anybody getting hurt or anything. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Be careful.
Thank you, Jules.
And I'm gonna end. Yeah, I'll see you guys again in America. Great seeing you again. And I'm gonna end my night by saying I learned something tonight. I think black people can get sunburned. That's about it. Have a good night, everybody. Great speaking to you again. Steve, nice meeting you again.
The pleasure's mine. We've spoken before.
Yeah, I know.
Good night, Jules.
Good night, guys.
So, guys, this is Healthy Debates, Open Discussion, Potheads United. This room has been sponsored by Uncle Steve. He cashed out me $6 and I opened the room. How about that? So I'm going to get going. I'm going to leave the room to Steve. You got some great people in here, Steve.
I sure do. Thank you. Because of you.
And by the way, guys, Steve has a room tomorrow. What time, Steve?
It's from 7 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
All right. Listen, Steve, I'm going to be leaving. So you got 4 beautiful women as mods.
I love it.
It's like Charlie's Angels and your Bosley.
I love it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, JB. Thanks for being here.
Hello, angels. Yeah, guys, just as far as I'm concerned, just go popcorn. It's fine.
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
I have you because it's been a lot rarer than I would like. You know, you're my favorite uncle.
Thank you.
And I love all your shows. Your labor show, your Ask the Atheist, and
just tomorrow morning, and Ask Uncle Steve, which was this morning.
And Ask
Thank
Uncle
you.
Steve. So I'm a big fan, Uncle Steve, but I've had some access problems getting into your room lately, and unfortunately I have to name names.
No, that's okay. Tell me, who is blocking you? It's
you
not
have
me.
a co-mod named Dr. James.
Dr. James.
Dr. James really has a you-know-what for me, and I don't know what to say, but whenever you mod him, that means you are blocking me. So I just want you to know that. And
I will have a talk with him. He mods more people. He blocks more people than any of my mods. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
He's the most sensitive mod. Yes.
But anyway, I'm a big fan.
Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Somebody asked me earlier, I think, when I said I'm allergic to cocaine. They probably didn't believe me. I'm actually allergic to anything that I snort because I still have my tonsils in, believe it or not. And if I snort anything, my throat closes up, my tonsils swell, and I start breathing funny. Now, again, I haven't done coke in like 25, 30 years, but if I needed to do some stuff all day and I didn't want to procrastinate, if somebody offered me a line or two of coke, I could put it in coffee and then drink it, and then the high would probably be great, but I haven't done coke in like 25, 30 years.
Never liked it. By the way, I did smoke a joint with Cheech on top of his roof at his Malibu house back in the 70s.
It was about 10 years ago. I was offered some Adderall. I had half an Adderall pill. I spent the entire day cleaning my house. It's true.
That's a terrible side effect, isn't it?
Uncle Steve, I'm curious.
Yes.
As someone who's used both Adderall and cocaine, like, how do you compare those two? Like, do you think? Because anyway, I have the contention that Adderall is an incredibly strong drug, and that the fact that they give it to kids is shocking.
Well, of course, the medical efficacy for Adderall is that it has the opposite effect on kids that are ADHD. It's a combination of two different types of speed drugs, and the drugs themselves make you hyperactive, but because it's a time release thing, it has medically it has the opposite effect of ADHD or whatever. It slows them down. The problem is that a lot of shall we say high schoolers and college kids that are on Adderall are not using it regularly with a medical professional's consultation. I'm very lucky because I never became addicted to any type of pills or substances like that. I still do alcohol, I still do pot, but I was never into pills. So I think too many kids are prescribed Adderall. I think too many kids are. Well, just let me say, I think too many kids are on prescription drugs. I'll just leave it there.
Were you around for the Quaalude revolution?
714 lemons and roar, baby.
There you go. That was probably one of the greatest highs ever, by the way. And let me just finish with this. It was actually classified as a hypnotic, not.
Oh, I thought it was classified as a muscle relaxer.
I believe it was a hypnotic.
You can check me on that. Yeah.
That's as I recall it, and I was involved at the time.
But at the time, if I wanted to get laid, I'd find a way to take a chick out on a date and have her swallow a Quaalude or whatever.
Every Friday night and Saturday night at the Rainbow on Sunset Strip, kicking in a Quaalude with a Mexican coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Agent, I too have a big issue with Adderall. I think it's so detrimental, especially long-term use combined with alcohol. I think it leads to violent tendencies. I think there's so much more study that needs to be done with that. I've had way worse hangovers from taking Adderall than I have with cocaine. I just think it's horrible. And now the good news is, I don't think they're prescribing Adderall as much to children. There's another drug that I forget the name, but I don't think it's as potent or has this, maybe doesn't have as bad side effects. I don't know. But I think they're kind of getting away from Adderall with the kids.
I'm glad to hear that.
You don't have to be a street rocket scientist to know that a depressant and a stimulant probably shouldn't go together. What's the point of doing that? So if you're drinking alcohol and taking Adderall, it just kind of it's almost funny, to be honest, if it wasn't sad.
Oh, and I forgot to mention what another creepy part about the Adderall thing. If you look at it, and I suck at science, so don't quiz me on this, but Adderall and meth have one little difference. There's one little tiny makeup that's different. They're so similar. And you know what? I had a best friend. We're no longer friends, but she was addicted to Adderall since she was a child, and also an alcoholic. And I will tell you, when I look at meth heads, it kind of reminds me of her. The way that they move so fast, the way that they're constantly having to do things, it actually reminds me of her.
And one of the side effects of regular Adderall use is cardiomyopathy. You have to be really careful. I know someone very close to me whose heart now is totally fucked up. Now, I think Adderall is a contributing factor. What he told me was he gave the doctor a complete honest history, and the doctor basically said, well, I don't know what caused it. I have to think that Adderall was a contributing factor. Of course, when you're when you're doing meth or whatever, you get real skinny and your teeth fall out and shit like that. But even Adderall under a doctor's prescription, it can blow your heart apart.
Well, and also, true Adderall addicts will never, like, they'll never blame the Adderall for anything. Like, it's, they'll use every other excuse and every other substance that they take. Adderall, like, and also I think, Steve, to their defense, and part of that is because it's so accepted, right? Like, Adderall is like accepted, so that can't be the culprit.
Right, and also, it was prescribed by my doctor.
Right, right.
Yes, yeah.
I even think, I wonder, see, they're so lacking in studies with Adderall. I don't know why, but like, I wonder what the effects are on the babies. There's gotta be more. Like, I know that babies, the mothers who are on Adderall do tend to have smaller weight babies, because usually, I think when you're on Adderall, you have to see like a high risk doctor, specialist or whatever to monitor. But I wonder if maybe there's some link between that and other developmental issues too. I don't know.
Yeah, and anytime expectant mothers, either during the pregnancy or just before the pregnancy, are on any type of regular drugs, you have to be very careful. Even smoking, documented that smoking tobacco during pregnancy contributes to a lower weight baby. Although my ex-wife, she smoked all the way through her pregnancy, and my daughter came out 8.5 ounces. So I think the average is 7.
3 pounds.
Pounds. I'm sorry. I meant 8 pounds 5 ounces. Yes, and she smoked. She didn't drink during the pregnancy, but she did smoke.
Well, drinking actually. So you said she didn't drink. I think that the whole drinking while pregnant is actually way inflated too. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's, if you don't, obviously not to an excess, but I don't think there's really great studies on kind of, I don't know. They treat pregnant women like children. It really actually kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, you mean, I'm not aware of any, and again, I'm not advocating this, but I'm not aware of a test or testing while a woman was pregnant to have 1 glass of wine a day. Not that I would advocate her 1 glass of beer. Clearly, we know that excessive alcohol abuse, that's going to lead to a lot of problems during pregnancy.
Right. I think women, if we listen to our bodies tell us. Like, when I had some alcohol while I was pregnant, but your body tells you real quick, you might get really bad heartburn. And it's like, okay, I can't have any. Or, you just feel it. You just like, okay, that was good for me. Your body just knows.
I think women are more in tune with their bodies than men.
Yeah. And we're not given that credit. We're just told, we're shamed if you, and then, like, I smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke much anymore, but, like, I used to smoke cigarettes regularly. And when I got pregnant, my body instantly, like, rejected the cigarette before I knew I was pregnant. I was like, ew. Like, it started, like, it started to taste weird. And I was like, what's wrong with this pack of cigarettes? Like, this is wrong, And you get real sick, and I couldn't even stand the smell of the cigarettes. And so it's like, it's cool. Like, your body's, like, telling you something to protect the baby.
Which is probably why pregnant women cannot, or generally don't have 2 large meals a day, like breakfast and dinner. They have 5 very small meals during the day. Body is telling them, don't do that.
Yeah, like, there's way worse things than having a little bit of alcohol when you're pregnant. Like, is it listeria that kills the baby? I always forget. There's 2 different things that you can get.
I don't know.
I think it's listeria. So it's like, what's the biggest listeria outbreak? Like, lettuce? I don't know. It's like, do we get shamed shame a woman who's pregnant for eating lettuce or for eating, a cold cut. but God forbid she have a glass of wine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, welcome to Healthy Debates. JB opened up this room about an hour and a half ago, or JB and I did. Just whatever. So, cash in your pink tickets, come on stage, and you can talk about anything you want. It doesn't have to be about potheads or drugs. Talk about anything you want. Tomorrow morning on Ask the Atheist, I will be talking about the Scopes trial, which is 100 years old. For those of you who are not familiar with it, that's a Supreme Court case in 1925, where John T. Scopes was teaching evolution, and it was against the law to teach evolution 100 years ago. Imagine that.
So this is an interesting thing about teaching evolution. Physicians, to my knowledge, still are not required to take a course in evolution. They should as pre-med students, but they don't.
Are you sure about that, Dr. Jordan?
When I was pre-med, sick pre-health, and taught pre-med students, they didn't have to take it, but maybe they may now. I mean, it's kind of hard if they take a molecular genetics class and they don't have a background in evolution, and like understanding host pathogen coevolution is kind of an important concept, particularly in the infectious disease world. So they really should have it, but more so for a healthier genetics background.
If anybody within the sound of my voice does not believe in evolution, the best evidence I could give you in evolution is your own body, because all of our bodies contain the coccyx bone, which are 3 vertebrae right below the lumbar spine. And this, according to medical professionals, is what's left over of a couple of million years ago, or maybe even 10 million years ago, when us human actually had tails.
Or how about the vestigial nipple of the male?
Yeah, but that one's a little more, what's the word I want? Unclear.
Exactly.
Because us men didn't have breast milk millions of years ago, did we? We didn't have actually breasts.
Correct. I was just jumping.
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about
yeah.
evolution. I was just really thinking of any vestigial.
Yeah. So, LS, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I don't think there's been any documented evidence whatsoever of CBD, that's the cannabinoid in marijuana, being dangerous or unhealthy. Has there been?
No, actually, it's very healthy, and it's good by itself, but it actually works better with a little THC and some other cannabinoids with it. But yeah, CBD is non-psychoactive. It is relaxing on its own and can help calm. Actually, it's great for animals and dogs. I know people that with very old dogs are using CBD, and it's quite amazing. Amazing. You see it in front of your own eye.
And I think as time goes on, we're going to see more drugs or more natural health remedies infused with CBD, because it is non-psychoactive and we still do not know the complete beneficial effects. it has beneficial effects for a lot of things.
Absolutely. Well, we wouldn't have legal recreational cannabis right now if it wasn't that California proved in 1996 that it was a real medicine and it was helping people and it was curing people of certain things in certain ways. So, and that's when it started. It all started in San Francisco that they proved that was medicinal value to this. And now there's, there's all kinds of good stuff.
Over half of the states have legalized marijuana either recreationally or medicinally, and also the House of Representatives, what was it, 2 years ago, I think, they passed a bill to legalize it federally, although the Senate would not go along with it.
Do you know that in Washington, D.C., it's legal for recreation and for medical? Just saying, Washington, D.C.
And I can guarantee you all that the reason why it's not completely legal is because of the alcohol industry.
100%.
The alcohol industry has a huge financial incentive not to legalize pot, because once they do, they know that their profits are going down.
And not only the alcohol industry, but the psychiatric industry hates cannabis. And it actually, again, cannabis can rebuild brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. It's out there. I'm sure Dr. San Fernando Valley there.
Well, you've mentioned that on my show. I don't think that's been proven yet. I think that's just a theory, or am I mistaken?
You're probably mistaken. Go to go to PUB Med, MED. There's all kinds of. There's so many studies. They've been hiding this for years. There's studies that go. It's not brand new. Again, a Harvard study. Said it improves lung function and lung volume. It doesn't cause cancer.
But we're talking about rebuilding brain cells, because all of us were raised that once brain cells die, they cannot be regrown.
Well, it's helped Alzheimer's patients. And again, I said it earlier. It's going to be. You'll see. Again, I'm 75. I may not be here in 20 years, but when I'm gone, you guys will think back. You'll hear it here. So, Steve, did I tell you I'm a Santa Monica College alumni?
I think you did.
Okay, cool.
Of course, I'm a huge fan of KCRW. And
well, I took broadcasting classes at that station.
Yeah.
At KCRW there, and I'm a huge fan of Harry Shearer, who's been using that station. I don't think he does any more for years with his show. Do you know who that is, Harry Shearer?
No, I do not.
Oh my goodness, Google him. He's one of the original Credibility Gap back in the days of 70s radio, and he's in Spinal Tap. He's one of the guys in Spinal Tap. Yeah, he's the bass player, and he's an unbelievable comedian, and he's been doing a show every Sunday morning called Le Show for 40-something years now.
How about that?
Hey, butter baby.
We're at the bottom of the hour. Welcome everybody to Healthy Debates. You can cash in your pink ticket, raise your hand, and come on up and talk about anything. It doesn't have to be about Potheads United. if nobody objects, I'm going to play one song, and then if nobody wants to talk after the song, I'm going to close down the room. And for those of you that have never heard of Cab Calloway, let's smoke some reefer.
Cigarette we must all depend on. Marijuana. Oh, once beginning and you're sure to end on. Marijuana. It's the kind of stuff all the dreams are made of. It's the thing that white folks are afraid of. Up in Highland we go. A marijuana jazz. Smoking to puff away your misery. Go away, go away, go away, misery. Blow, blow away. Go away. Smoking reefer to get beyond the worrying. Go away, worrying. Blow, blow away, blow away. Must wake up and work in the morning. Must get by the brooding at night. You can change this world you were born in, but I declare you can be walking on air. Smoking reefer. You hear the angels sing away, helping you to fling away your worry and your troubles.
Smoking Reefers by the immortal Cab Calloway. Dr. Jordan, you want to talk, or are we good? Dr. Jordan? He's okay. LS, you want to talk, or should we just shut this sucker down?
Well, I'll say I'm probably the only other person in the room that's heard of Cab Calloway. And there's actually a pond named after him in my alma mater boarding school in Delaware.
Now that one I did not know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been around and I got lots of stories, but thanks for holding the room tonight. It cost you $6, and I think
that's right.
Got your money's worth. And
I got my money's worth, that's for sure. What about you, Dr. Jordan? You good? I saw you unmute a minute ago, Dr. Jordan.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. You're in the matrix. You're in the matrix, but I think you said you're good. Yes. Okay. Well, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow, 7 to 10 a.m. with Ask the Atheist. The link is at the top, so hope to see you all there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend if I don't see you, and as the old saying goes, be careful on the clubhouse streets. This room will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, everybody.
For real. That's why we gonna be going big men stuff like that. But your boy KP, boy, that nigga was nut hugging, Joe. I ain't gonna lie, that nigga was nut hugging. Oh. Oh, you? He was defending the shit out of you, cussing these females out. Well, yeah. What they was saying? What they moved going hard on here? No, that's when Kendra was on here. He was going crazy. You can go back to the replays and shit. Oh, my mama, he did. He called her all type of bitches. Oh, he did. What he said, yeah, she did what she supposed to do. What a Memphis bitch do. I ain't gonna even stunt. I ain't gonna have to go there. Yeah. If you ain't used to them motherfuckers, you ain't gonna talk too much. But it's crazy how it happened every time. But I ain't going with the jail no more. Man, what you be telling these bitches though? Cause this shit be crazy. Bro, they be coming around and feel their energy, bro, and they don't never want to leave. They just be on. That bitch Kendra was trying to fuck with you for real though. I think that nigga gay Pete was on that though. He wasn't trying to let that go. Shorty was fucking with you though. She still will. She just called. I know she did. She still will.
See, that's like my motherfucking baby, my motherfucking ex-wife just called me talking some crazy shit. I'm like, what the fuck? But she wasn't talking no crazy shit, but she was talking like, we the best of friends.
I gotta at least go do this no summer interview. After I do this done, bro, I start back talking. But I ain't finna talk to her and try to get you doing that, cause she bad. Nah, nigga, you need to go get your kids, mama, and sit the fuck up, nigga. Tell her break that motherfucking shit she got going on, cause that's the only one that's gonna ride for you. The rest of them hoes ain't shit. At least she gon' tell the truth, nigga. The other hoes just gonna say what they did, what they been through. And that's the only one I ain't picked up on since I've been out. But I just sent her some money last week, though. She should be good.
Man, fuck that money, man. Go get that woman, nigga.
Yeah. She's trying to creep back around. I see her trying to creep back around slow. So she don't trust this shit right now. She don't trust this shit. I've been gone too long, man. Going back to Georgia, she got to really show me from. She got to show me something else.
All right, take the room at the top, y'all. Take the room at the top, y'all. Take the room at the top, y'all. Stan G, get up there.
Hey, y'all go over to the other room. Somebody
go. Yeah, you gonna be
Imam, don't tell me what to do, Imam.
sorry. Think you smarter than me, nigga? Relax. Nigga, funny as hell.
Rich want to apply to countries to go find vulnerable Asian women to bring them back to the United States. No, let's do that. Let's do that because Rich is up in so many other people's business.
He ain't getting no pussy in the U.S.
Dr. Adams, do you own a house?
Yes.
Do you own a house?
Are you in the house alone right now?
No, because my job is in Los Angeles.
Do you own a house, man?
Yep, Sedona, Arizona, and Carmel, California.
She gonna ask a nigga, do he own a house? But she in the house with the nigga that own the house. She got like 8 properties all over the country. I ain't mad at her. She gonna be asking a nigga, why you gonna be asking a nigga if he owns something? If you own something?